Alright, welcome back to another Amatsutsumi
この後
episode.
はどうする？
What should we? Good question. Is there anywhere you do like to go? Pretty much the only places I know around here are the lake, the hospital, the school, and the shopping district. What the hell would we go to the hospital? Of course, we can't just hang out at the hospital. That's good. And we were just at the school earlier. You don't need to buy anything at the shopping district either. I suppose we don't have to keep going to new places. And we could always spend time just walking around town. But
そうね。それなら、もう少しここでのんびりしていたいわ。
okay. Yoko told us to take our time too, so we might as well. Nana slides over and snuggles up next to me.
しばらくこのままでいて。
Sure. I want to stay like this for a while too.
本当に
For once I didn't take a kotodama for him to listen. Or for him not to ask any more questions.
誠とこうしてくっついている時間が
About our snuggling.
私一番好き。
She takes my hand in hers and chuckles.
裸でないのがちょっと残念だけど、この間もいいところでやめてしまったし。
But we're in the middle of the park. We can.
わかってる。いいわ。今はこれで。
This freaking guy. If you were here when I was playing different routes, he and the other girls were a little bit kinky in various places, so now it's big. Oh no! I don't think we could do it outside! I don't know, honestly. Why now? She rests her head on my shoulder and quietly closes her eyes. Like, jeez, with that Kokoro and like where? At the bus station? Jeez. I also forgot to read. Oops. She lifts her hand on my shoulder and quietly closes her eyes after Deepman and I returned to the cafe to work the afternoon shift. It wasn't long shift. Well, mostly I worked. She was sitting in a chair, like a statue, reading her manga. It wasn't a long shift, but there were a lot of customers, so I think Kazuki-san was grateful for our help. Today, Mana didn't just sit and read manga like she used to. She stood in as a waitress, serving food to customers. There was a reason she was happy enough to offer to do that. Could we see her dressed in the waitress outfit, please? Awesome.
ねえ、誠、
What?
最後にキスして。
Ah, so that was the reason. We were outside the cafe, so I did hesitate, of course. But I didn't see anyone around, so I briefly leaned in and kissed her on the lips. Apparently she was half joking, since she knew we shouldn't be kissing in public. So when I did as she asked, even though she didn't use her kotodama, she was very surprised and very happy, and wrapped me in a hug. Yay, hugs. I think it's fair to say that our date was, today was a resounding success. I hope Anna can continue to enjoy her life here more and more, like she did today. Whoa, it's pretty late! I've been flipping through a magazine I borrowed from Matsuki-san after dinner, and before I knew it, bedtime has arrived. When you take a day off, the time really flies by. I usually stay up a bit later than this, but I decided to go to bed early today so I can be well rested tomorrow. I met Mana in the hallway earlier, on her way back from taking a bath, and she said she was going to sleep early too. I hope she has sweet dreams tonight. Just as I'm about to turn up the lights and get into bed, I hear a hesitant knock on my door. Who could that be? Maybe Azuki-san? Yes, I'm still awake.
遅くにごめんね、兄さん。入ってもいい？
It's Kokoro. Of course, come right in. She quietly opens the door and slips into the room. From her expression, she seems to have something to say. What's up? Did you need something? Like a dude? Yes. She looks at her feet and pinches in place. Looking more closely, you see that her cheeks are fairly red. Red enough to see that she's blushing. But why?
私、見ちゃったんだ、さっき。
The kiss? Saw what?
兄さんとマナちゃんが、キスしてるの。
I don't know what it was around, but Kokoro must have seen us from inside. It was girls to meet and only check the street, not inside a cafe.
ごめんね。わざとじゃないの、たまたま。水をまこうと思って出ようとしたら、見えちゃっただけで。
She speaks quickly, looking flustered. Did you come just to apologize for that? You don't need to worry about it, it's fine. She obviously didn't do anything wrong. It was my fault doing something like that in public where Mana and I could be seen. Well, in a way, I'm glad Kokoro was the one who saw us. If it had been Koichi or someone like that, the whole school could have been abuzz with rumors tomorrow. If that happened, I could deal with it using my kotodama. But it would be a big pain, I'm sure.
そうしようとしたよ。
She brings her face up and looks me in the eyes. There's a mixture of confusion, sadness, and embarrassment in her eyes.
見なかったことにしよう。忘れようと思ったの。でも、できなかった。
Kokoro? Kokoro grabs me in a tight embrace and practically clinging to me.
One normal hugs and stuff later.
Okay, we're finished, I think. This main character is such a fucking dumb nut. Oh, here. Okay, just woken up with moans. I want to grapple his neck, honestly. As simply on as a setup. That I don't feel drowsy, my mind is clear and refreshed. For the last few days, I've slept very well, untormented by any bad dreams. Just in case, I loosened the front of my yukata and peeked down at my chest. But I'm not sweaty at all. I just have large boobs. It's a great morning to wake up to. And it's all because of one thing. I stopped to trace my lips with a finger. I feel like the sensation of our kiss is still lingering there. Makoto has been so nice to me recently. I'm sure it's partially because I've encouraged him to be that way. But when I'm with him, I can tell that it's really of his own accord that he's treated me so well. I cannot help myself from feeling bad for Mana now. Holy crap. Just thinking about it brings a smile to my face. Yes, recently I've been able to spend more time with him than before. If I include the time we spent sitting in class, we're together even more than we used to be back in the village. I'm glad. Being with Makoto makes me very happy. He and I are like the two wings of a bird. each meaningless without the other. I've come to realize it even more after he disappeared from the village and I followed him here. Now that I'm living in the outside world, I find there are more good things about it than I had thought. I think the commenter understands to an extent what has always drawn Makoto to it. There are many attractive things in this town that I didn't have in the village. More than I could ever count. Interesting books. Delicious food. Convenient, useful tools. And friends my own age. Like Kyoko. There are things I never could have experienced as long as I stayed in the village.
不思議なものね。
There, it really felt like I was missing anything. I had barely even thought about wanting to leave like Makoto always had. I wasn't completely uninterested in the outside world, but I always regarded it as something irrelevant to me and my life. I wouldn't mind if I never saw it in my whole life, nor would I feel disappointed. That's how I felt at the time. I was born in the village, grew up in the village, and one day I'd do bear and raise Makoto's children in the village and eventually die in the village. That's the life I always assumed I would lead. And I still think I will, even now. I still do think that. But it's true that I enjoy life here in this town, more than I ever expected I would. When I first arrived, I was determined to force Makoto to return with me to the village, even if I had to use my kotodama. But on the night I found him here, the look in his eyes changed my mind. It was the first time he had pleaded with me with such conviction in his eyes. And he really seemed happy, even though he was at the brink of death. And so, despite myself, a kind of envy grew in me. I started to wish I could experience the same things he was experiencing. That night, when Makoto finally closed his eyes to sleep, he looked truly at peace. So while I ate with him, at the same time, I felt a great relief. Makoto's happiness was always my greatest wish, and no Simi's. Of course, if he had died, it all would have been for nothing. Because his kotodama power was relatively weak, he managed to avoid killing himself. But that just means he was lucky. From now on, I have to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. I slowly get out of bed, being careful not to make too much noise. I don't want to wake Kokoro. I look at Kokoro's bed, where she should be sleeping, but she's nowhere to be seen.
もう起きたのかしら。
If so, that's incredibly early for her. I went to bed before her last night too.
もしかして私が寝過ごしたの？
I quickly look at the clock, then breathe a sigh of relief. In fact, I woke up a little earlier than I usually do. Which means that Kokoro really did wake up abnormally early today. But in the back of my mind, I have a strange feeling that something is wrong. I quickly leave the room, apprehension in my heart. My fears are perfectly confirmed. Kokoro is fast asleep, splayed out on Makoto's bed. It's all too clear what happened here last night. I don't see Makoto, but I hear some sounds downstairs, so he must have gone to make breakfast. Yeah, that conniving little son of a bitch. I feel my heart quickly grow cold. Look down, Kokoro. Speak peacefully in the bed. And open my mouth to speak.
心。
It's just that skip sounds. Then again, I'm honestly pissed at Makoto, really, and how he is written at the moment. So, I'm sorry. Anyways. There we go. But she frowns and moves her body, indicating that my voice is reaching your ears.
私の質問に答えなさい。
Oh boy. You done fucked up. This morning is quieter than usual. Oh, that will not last. Alone in the kitchen, I'm preparing our breakfast and lunch. It's Rich, still a little tired from last night's activities. I'm probably responsible for having fully awakened Kokoro's sexual desire over the past few weeks. That may have been a careless thing to do, though, considering that I'm also making her believe that I'm her forever. But looking at her happy face as she lay sleeping next to me this morning, I knew that responding to her desire wasn't a mistake. That should about do it. The food is ready now. I'll pack some of it into our lunchboxes and keep the rest aside from breakfast. I've gotten faster at preparing food in the morning, which is good. But I think I was a little too fast today. By the time everyone comes downstairs, our breakfast will be cold and I'll have to reheat it. It's hard to get to the timing right. Oh boy. As I turn around to take an empty lunchbox from the shelf, I come face to face with Mama. I didn't notice her approaching. How long has she been there? Good morning. You're early today. Breakfast is almost ready. I think everyone else is still asleep. But do you want to have yours first while it's still warm? I greet her as usual, but today she doesn't answer. She just looks at me with an indescribable non-expression on her face. Mana, what's wrong? Something seems off. She was in such a good mood yesterday too. Did she have a nightmare last night or something?
心から聞いたわ。誠。ゆうべ、心を抱いたのね。
And, it's a little bit early in the episode, but let's, end this here for now. I'll see you in another episode real soon. So, stay tuned. And, subscribe. It's free. Thanks.